All right, welcome back to the Cross Up Podcast. My name is Alan. I'm here with Jeremy, and of course, we got returning guests because we're going to be talking about our, I guess, our response and continuation of the season two changes and how we feel about Tekken 8. Our video actually got over 1,000 views for a channel that has 50 subscribers, which is kind of insane, and a good chunk of comments, good and bad. And I think our dislike ratio is like pretty close to 50, which on YouTube is kind of insane. And usually, depending on the situation, usually either means like the community is actually divided or you're wrong. So it's like, yeah, take it either way. So, of course, we got Ice back for who knows how many times now. We've got Spiro again for the third time. So we're gonna go ahead and I think we'll start off with since Lotus, the guy who was here for the original season two video, is not here. We'll go ahead and talk about his thoughts on kind of how he feels about season two at this point, and we can talk about it and see how he feels because I haven't even read it. I'm gonna pull it up on my phone because I forgot I'm recording Discord. So he said his words. As I was playing through the season, I was still finding new stuff and new way to beat the bullshit. The emergency patch was good at addressing that as well. My issue stems from I just started getting way too frustrated, so I'm on a break right now. I haven't really paid too much attention to the game since. Tekken feels just like any other fighter, 50-50s or rock, paper, scissors, built on risk reward. How to defend it against it is reading your opponent. It turns rock, paper, scissors and 50-50 situations in your favor if you can read your opponent. Obviously, it's not that simple, but it's the core of 90%, if not all, fighting games. Tekken is still enjoyable at a casual level. I'm somewhat coaching some IRL friends, and it's been fun. I just really haven't been enjoying my normal grind on the game, so I'm taking a break. I understand the direction they wanted to take the game. I think it still needs some tweaks, but they shouldn't double back or retreat to past versions. I think at this point, tuning some stuff down a little bit, some characters more than others, and you have a fantastic game. Oh, and Fakumram is the worst character they could have chosen. So how are we feeling about that?
Well, for one, I have no opinion about Falcon because I didn't really play him against him in
Yeah.
Tekken 7. So.
Man, I'm actually when I saw Falcon, I'm like, bro, like, come on, man, like, what are you doing? Like, who wants this? But actually, I feel like the response from the community was actually more positive than I expected. It's at least mixed. It's
mixed. It's not overwhelmingly negative. That
exactly.
I like how I feel basically. Because
Right.
I don't like him, and it's not even like anything to do with his character. I just personally like the little bit that I played at Tekken 7, especially towards the end of his life. I hated playing against him. It was just really annoying, especially in the systems that Tekken 7 had in place at the time, and the way that people were playing the game. He definitely did not play like those characters. And I feel like if you were gonna do returning characters, there's just other options that probably would have. And again, these characters were again, as like a disclaimer, you guys have to remember these characters were probably chosen last year before season one was even finished, and they didn't expect the season two to be so overwhelmingly negative and taking the way that it did. So Falcon Run was probably, like, realistically speaking, if we were like still in like the way that we felt towards the end of season one and Falcon Run showed up, sure, a lot of people just like now probably wouldn't be too excited, but it probably would have been seen way more positively. So I think it just kind of how it falls like this. So the fact that it's still pretty mixed, like it's pretty close to 50-50 from what I've seen, is already pretty crazy that there's that many people that want someone like Falcon Rum in the game.
Yeah.
I think he was built with, he has the guard breaks in 7. I don't think anybody did. No, but he was the first, right?
I think so.
So I think in general he was playing like a Tekken 8 character just from that respect in Tekken 7. So I have a feeling he's gonna blend right into this game. They're gonna keep some of that stuff. They're gonna give him some more. I think he's like an easy character for them to slide in.
Oh, 100%.
Doesn't take a lot of work. He is a new character to Tekken, so they need to like continue with that, like just like they did with Lydia. Lydia was a new character, and they're gonna keep her in the game. You know, Falcon Rom's a new character. They can keep him in the game. So I think he was just like early concepts of Tekken 8 were in Tekken 7 Falcon Rom. So I think it makes sense.
Yeah,
And
like I think characters like him, Lydia, maybe even Kunimitsu with her newish kind of playstyle was all designed with in mind. Like they're gonna bring them into Tekken 8, just kind of depended on like what season and when.
right. I don't think he's that much of a. I mean, he was good and all, but like his low kicks were launch punishable and stuff.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
he wasn't. I don't think. Like when I think of Pokemon, besides like when he first came out, like yeah, he was a headache for sure. But like over time, I never looked at Fahkumram as like, oh my god, it's this like ridiculous character. Oh no, like
Like, is there any like pro players who like really
I
played them?
mean, it was
Like
already
during
like it
what was
was a
it
niche,
Tekken?
it was a
Was it
niche
season 4?
character.
Wasn't season 4, right?
he came out I think in like season 3.
It was with
There was nobody really that people played him like when he was newer, you
mhm.
know. There was some clip of like Nee and somebody else playing him at a high level, and like it's just like he don't have anything too tricky and too crazy and too. He's just like a regular Tekken character. He's got the guard breaks, that was like his thing. Was he had that stuff before everybody else? So I think I think it's easy peasy. Like compared to some of this other stuff that we have, where you're like debuffed from Anna's moves and
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Falconrom's going to be much of a problem. I have a feeling he's going to just be like a little,
Just
he's
another
going to be
character
strong.
that we're gonna be playing
Yeah,
occasionally. Because like, let's
yeah,
be
just
honest, like even if he was like super strong or whatever, or he's like even top 10, like it
mm,
was already like a niche character. So like more people aren't gonna pick him up just because he's like stronger. Like I think
mhm.
he's one of those characters that just kind of will show up and just kind of play occasionally.
I agree. Unless he has some ridiculous stuff.
Yeah, unless he's like absolutely disgusting,
Unless they give him the Tekken 8 treatment,
then maybe.
which they will. Like he's not that's the thing. Like I agree with you. Like I think he was playing a little bit of Tekken 8 and Tekken 7, but I don't think they're just gonna lift and shift him to 8. They're gonna give him some flavor.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Well, I mean, he's got to have
and
heat as well too, so you got to get all that stuff.
The realist for all know, Will's a good friend of ours, training partner, et cetera, et cetera. He will always make the argument that brand new characters, like when they invest all this money into models and animations and stuff to get them in the game, they're going to try to get the most they can out of that investment. So Fahkumram being in the game, to Spiro's point, is not a surprise. It's really kind of like, for me, it's more like a win. Like, why was he like a season 1 thing? But they're definitely gonna give him a little bit of Tekken 8, like, oh my god, because that's just like every character has a little bit of that,
Right.
and how much of an effect it has on the game. I don't think, given the climate of season 2, I don't expect him to be crazy, like stupid, but he'll be good enough to sell them. The classic, NRS DLC has to be good to make the investment back, kind of thing. So, I mean, he's going to be good. I think he's going to be a problem. But again, like in the overall kind of like scope of the game, I think he'll be on par with everything else we've seen thus far.
Right.
Except Eddie. There was nothing that scary about Eddie.
No, Eddie just kind of showed up, and
Why?
I think the most attention Eddie got wasn't even because like someone was playing him and he's like, oh dude, look at all this crazy shit. It was just the bot spamming 3 online climbing up to Vanquisher.
That literally got the most attention for Eddie, was the bot
Yeah.
spamming 3. Yeah.
I just think they redid the way. I mean, Eddie, they Tekken 8'd Eddie more than almost any other character. Like, he's just so different, and I think that, I mean, obviously I'm not an Eddie player, so whatever. But I enjoy this Eddie much more than any other Eddie that I've played against. I think they made him a more creative character. I think they made him a more fair character, but still gave him things that made him kind of Eddie-ish. And like, I think much more interesting and much more fun to fight, good or bad, than previous Eddie. I think previous Eddie was lame and built on.
Lame. Why lame?
And previous Eddie was lame and built on these things that were like, ha, gotcha. Oh, you're gonna do something? Ha ha. 80% of your moves are gonna whiff. Ha ha. Oh, you're gonna pressure me? I'm gonna ha ha. Like, and that kind of like, oh, I did the sidestep low thing. You thought you could punish it? Ha ha. No, you can't. That's a launcher. Like that kind of stuff to me was very lame. And this Eddie, he has some things like that, but like he's much more of a like a creative. You can play him in a lot of different ways and show a little bit more sauce. And I really really like him in this game.
Damn, hating on the Eddie.
Eddie of old, yeah, Eddie of old is nonsense. You know, obviously, no disrespect to my good friend here. Eddie,
What about Ling? What about Ling? She gets still haha out of her way out of everything too.
Nonsense too, and I think they addressed that. They addressed that in this game too, at least versus King. Like before, you know, she had the haha. Like that was like people as a King player playing Tekken 7 when they're like, "Oh, you fight against a Ling," they were like, dang man, you know that sucks. Like
yeah, pretty much.
they had no answers other than like, dang, you know, sorry man, you know that sucks. You got to play a Ling. Good luck with that. Now, like obviously she's still stupid, but like she can't really kind of go under everything all the time. Like 4-4 basically scrapes the ground, and like you still gotta deal with me like as a Link player. So I mean, even though she's still stupid, obviously, like we all know.
So stupid.
But
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I don't really like her, but I like her better than like previous Link as well.
Yeah, I was about to say I still can't use like a third of my moves that I normally would, but I can at least fight her.
Right.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
It's just like you approach Yoshi pretty much. I was like, all right, well there goes that. I gotta now change up what I do.
Look, if you
Right.
can't punish Flash now, I can't help you. I'm sorry.
Are you
That
still
shit-
running
that
into
shit's-
people that can't punish it?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
that shit's
Uh,
minus 20 with the effect on it too. I don't know what to do to you. I don't know what to do.
It's gonna take time. It's too
Yeah,
many years
it'll
of
still
it,
take a little bit.
and maybe by the time everybody starts to punish it, they'll still put it back.
They'll give you back your.
Yeah.
They'll give
Yeah.
you back some frames.
Yeah,
Make
we'll
it like
see.
they make it like minus 14 or something.
Oh, that'd be horrible.
That is
I wouldn't.
insane.
I wouldn't be able to down forward to it.
Crazy.
Yeah. So I guess we
So-
kind of went off track a little bit, but
But yeah,
But
So-
to get to kind of cap off on everything that that you were reading,
Mhm.
I do agree with most of what he said.
yeah.
For the most part, I don't hate that Falconron's in the game, you know.
Yeah, man.
But
I would prefer other characters, but like it's not gonna change
Yeah,
how like what I do or like me enjoying the game isn't gonna like he's not gonna ruin that for me.
Mhm.
Right.
How do you
Now,
all
I've-
feel about? Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say now, I didn't play much season 2. I only played a little bit of it when we last met, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then I continued on to play and to play and to play, and I did come across some of this backlash and some of this. I understand where people are coming from with some of the stuff was out of line, some of the stuff was fair.
Yeah.
I don't think it is enough for me to be like, yo, I'm gonna uninstall the game, and no way.
Yeah.
But I don't think. I think what they recently just did a couple days ago, I think that's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because since then you played, there's been 2 patches already,
Right.
which is kind of crazy for a game in general.
And I think also like don't get me wrong, I think this is something that I wanted to address in this episode also. Like I don't know if we just came across the wrong way or we didn't explain it properly or people just kind of already came at us with bad faith. Don't get me wrong. I think we're on the same side in agreeing that things that they did that patch when it first dropped was obviously like it was a communication issue. It's not what they should have, it's not what we were expecting. There was a lot of bullshit. Don't get me wrong. But I think the reason that we had an issue with what people were saying is because a lot of it was blown out of proportion, making it seem like there's no counterplay to a bunch of stuff.
Right.
And they were committing like they were actually breaching the Geneva Convention. Not like I said, there were certain characters that were doing that. It's not like we're saying it wasn't there. And some characters are still kind of getting away with some war crimes here and there. Like I'm gonna be real, I'm not a huge fan of giving Claudio the Glock. Like why does he have that? I hate that move. I hate having to deal with it. And it's not like
You're talking
impossible.
about-
His
you talking about?
his little gun that he charges and it wall splats, wall breaks.
Oh, that. Yeah.
Okay. You can sidewalk it, right?
Yeah, you can sidewalk it, and it's just like. But then you also and like don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that's like there's no counterplay. You can do a few things to it. You can also can you power crush it? I don't actually know. I think it breaks power crush if he charges it all the way.
I don't know. I don't know.
So and then so like realistically, you can sidewalk it. There's like a lot of things you can do. You can probably even dick jab it, but that's like obviously on the player if he's gonna call you out and like let go early, and then he hits you for you trying to do something. And again, like realistically, it's not the worst move in the game. I just don't like it. But so to that extent, like you were saying, like I get why people were upset. I get what moves for the most part people were not okay with. I just think like all this boycotting and uninstalling was just so out of proportion, and that's why I think maybe we came at them like that last episode the wrong way. I don't know. So I guess just to kind of clear it up.
Yeah, like I am not, it's not lost on me that like there are certain situations or a lot of situations when season 2 first came out where they really wanted you to like, they're funneling you into like, you have to do this one thing to get out of it kind of thing. To your point is that like, just give it some time to cook, like give it some time, really give it an opportunity to like see like where the things that are really bad are and kind of roll with it. Like I think that clearly it was going in a direction that the fan base didn't want. But the problem is like it makes it so that people who are going to complain about things anyway have a quote unquote legitimate excuse. And that's my biggest problem. And I wanted to watch the previous episode again so I don't repeat things, but like these fools, they're people that I know, people that I train with for a long time, who are out there just complaining about whatever and talking about the previous games or where the real Tekken was when they complained about that shit back when it was the game that was played.
Right.
So it's like it's hard to distinguish signal from noise when you get into that situation.
Yeah, and I mean, and now we're running into the other problem, right? Where like why I don't not regret, I don't disagree with probably most with what we said that last episode, because we're now on the other side of the patch where we're getting a bunch of nerfs. Like realistically, that whole patch was nerfs or adjustments, and we're now getting people bitching on Twitter complaining about the nerfs.
About the same thing. So that's actually the encouraging thing that I'm seeing on social media after the last 2 patches is like people are starting to look around and like, man, y'all fools really just do complain about everything.
Yeah, and luckily like even the subreddit like has been becoming like pretty like even like I'll be real, I was going through it in season 2 for all the drama and people complaining. It was very much entertaining while I was at work. But now there's a bunch of people that are on there that are also calling out that bullshit that like, hey guys, it's not perfect, but we can't be bitching about nerfs if you want the game to be more defensive and all this other stuff. And so like, I'm glad that people, you know, like I said, you had every right to be upset if with the way season 2 went. You stop playing the game, that's perfectly fine. You're allowed to enjoy a game or whatever you want the way that you want it. But now that we're going in the direction where even the entire like balance team has been reassigned, the game director is now involved directly with every change that's going to be going through the balance. And like I said, that last patch was a step in the right direction and did a lot of good, and we're still bitching. Like, come on.
And again, like I mentioned this, I'm pretty sure to everyone, like we're still in the arcade phase of this game.
Yeah,
we're not even at what
like
it could,
console
what
release.
It could be. Yeah.
That's 100% accurate. So this is nothing that what the final version will be.
No,
just a taste.
Just a bit. So, I guess we kind of already kind of hinted at it, talked about it a little bit. So we'll kind of go through just like we did the first episode, give our opinions on how we feel now that we've had a little bit more experience about it, and see where we're at. See if we're still kind of in the same boat or if we're leaning more towards the other side, you know, stuff like that. So Jeremy, how do you feel?
I think the season is going well so far right now. I think it is going in the right direction. My main concern right now is the amount of health the characters have and the amount of timeouts that will happen in tournaments. I think if Evo is going to be what 2 out of 3 and then 3 out of 5 for like grand finals, that's going to be probably a very long Tekken.
Yeah, it could.
You
Like,
think
I don't
there's gonna
know.
be a lot of timeouts?
There was quite a few
Yeah.
at Evo Japan, like pretty close to timeouts.
Yeah, especially
What are we talking about? Like, give me a percentage.
Oh, I'd have
Percentage?
to.
All the games.
I
out of
want to
all the
say,
games
I
that were
want to say,
played-
out of everything that I watched, I think I watched like a good, at least fifth or fourth of those matches get really close to timeouts. And again, that's not like a crazy amount, but like it'll probably continue to rise up as people get more comfortable with everything.
Yeah.
So you're saying 20 to 25% of the games are going down to either a timeout or like around 10 to
Like
15
less
seconds.
than 10 seconds, yeah.
Yeah.
At least that's what it
It's
seemed
probably
like.
gonna-
Obviously,
it's
like
probably
I
gonna
don't
be
want to.
more. Yeah, it's probably gonna be more at Evo this year. So
I definitely think it's going in that direction of more timeouts, especially if they're okay. We increase a life, we reduce combo damage.
mhm.
That's
Yeah,
also
it's-
another issue I had. That's like the one. That's like the one kind of like not great thing that I read about the patch notes. We got the health
The
increase,
reduced combo
obviously.
damage?
The reduce of combo damage. I think realistically, like I think if we're gonna be looking at like how people feel and at least how I feel, I don't
Mhm.
think it's like combo damage because you can look at older Tekkens, bro. There's fucking one touches and stuff like that in this game if you hit wall and do certain things, right? I think it's just the length of combos and having a strong aerial tailspin and stuff like that that people are really upset with, and that I don't love either. Like I think especially if you're watching, I think it's been really cool, especially this Evo Japan, getting to see people play again, like we talked about it before the podcast, playing more smaller Tekken, really up close and personal, poking each other, and then when they get the launch, it's like really hype, but then you're sitting there watching for like 20-30 seconds until they get all their stuff out, and then it's back to
Yeah.
poking each other.
Yeah, other than like the tail spins and like the timeouts, I think my other problem right now is just everyone has all the tail spins, and Yoshi's like lagging behind in like combos. He still has like the same. Yes, yes, Ice. they nerfed his damage. They nerfed his health regain. What more do I have besides just going to stances all damn day?
What more do I have?
Motherfucker not gonna acknowledge that his flash has been tail spinning since the beginning of Tekken 8.
What? Yeah, what are you talking about?
That's fine. I want more. Damn it, please.
He didn't realize that he was already overloaded. That's why they took stuff away, and he's still in this. He's still pretty like top 5.
You were tail spinning and getting your life back. What are you talking?
I get like one. I get like 1 point of health back. That's not enough.
Oh my god!
I
I
don't
literally,
I don't know why.
I-
I don't know why they nerfed their health regain. To me, that was insignificant.
I'm pretty sure I just saw at Evo Japan a clip of someone in tournament do a rage art, and in the gap of them being gapped because it was timeout, he healed and won the round.
How did he heal? Did he do?
He
Like,
did the thing where he does
the-
this, yeah,
That
yeah,
Yeah.
and he won the
That's
round.
crazy.
Knocked them far enough away.
And
there
then
was-
the 3 seconds or 2 seconds of the timeout, he
saw
healed,
that
and
Well,
yeah,
that's crazy.
and that was at Evo Japan, so I don't want to fucking hear it.
just in
Okay.
time. Just
Well,
in
I'll shut
Like
the
the length of combos is something that we've been talking about lately, and I'm fine with that. Like the length of the combos doesn't bother me at all, but I can see it's a general like complaint. More people don't really like that.
I think it's sorry to interrupt. I think it's more so like I don't have an issue with it. Brain has always had long combos anyways. But I think like if we're gonna target one or the other, I'd rather target the combo length versus the combo damage, especially if you're giving us more health. So that's like my issue with it.
Yeah, I think if they just make it so you get one stronger tailspin and not multiple, I think
Right.
that's gonna be fine. I
It
think
would
that's
fix a
fine.
lot, and not everyone can wall carry in Coliseum.
Because how many tail spins can you have in a combo?
I think 2 or 3.
Two.
2 or 3.
2.
Two. Once you
Two.
hit the third one, they fly.
Yeah, they just fly away,
I
which has
I think
gotten
they
me
need
the wall a few times.
yeah, I think they need to cut back on the amount of hits in a combo.
Mm-hmm.
I think the fact that like every combo is like minimum 10 hits,
It's crazy.
crazy. And then you do like heat dash combos.
That shit goes
You
up
get
to
like
like 15.
15, 16 hits in a combo.
Mhm.
I just think that's overkill. Like, if you want to keep the damage the same, increase, just compensate and make it do the damage that it would do. Make an optimal combo do the damage that it would do with all these hits. Just cut back on the hits.
Right.
I think the hits
I
is just
don't know,
adding.
man. I'm in the minority here, but there is no more like dopamine inducing moments than when I hit somebody with my 4-2-1 heat dash combo. That shit is fire. I absolutely love it. I like the extra hits. I like the I like being able to see like the expressiveness of the characters and stuff in that. So I like that shit. And they reduce the damage of those. So it's not like even though there are more hits, you're still doing net less damage.
But I think that's
I don't
also
know.
like character dependent because some characters are getting like 80, 90 damage without wall with heat.
Okay, so then a heat dash combo, leave it since it's reduced.
Right.
But a standard combo, cut it back.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
not a million hits on a standard combo. Like,
Yeah, I'm cool with
I'd
that.
be okay with that. Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
then you could express your creativity in a heat dash combo, like you said. You could do your thing because it's not like even with 15 hits, it's doing the same damage
As a
a regular
10
combo would
10
do with a
hit.
10 hit. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
no,
And
it's nothing
realistically, now,
crazy.
like you taking away hits in a normal combo, it doesn't mean it's taking away its creativity. That just means you now have less hits that you have to optimize, and you probably try some real
Right.
weird shit.
Right. You're still everybody's still gonna figure out the bread and butters and the craziness for everything. It's just, you said it a little bit when we first brought the subject up. It's just a matter of staring at the screen for so long and just like, okay, here we go.
Right.
And then the oppressive pressure of the wall in this game. These stages are not that big, so it's like pretty much, I would say, what, 85, 90% of the cast at a round start could take you to the wall unless it's Coliseum or Yakushima.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you're playing with a character, with anyone who knows their combos with or without heat, you're hitting wall.
Hey, you're just taking away like Oki. Like, you're taking away Tekken knockdowns and like running Oki or whatever type of Oki. It's just wall. It's just you're at the wall and you're guessing for your life.
Well, they actually, even without being carried to the wall, the Oki stuff really got kind of reduced when
With
they
the
changed
auto
the
back roll, right?
system.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
the get up system makes it, takes out a lot of that stuff.
Right.
And then with that change, then the wall brings in at least some sort of okay. I know like the risk reward is jacked up at that point, but yeah, the Oki thing, I don't know. It's if there were no walls, there would be very little Oki because of the way the get up system is.
Yeah.
I guess when I say
Spero.
Oki, I mean I knock you down.
Mhm.
You decide to stay down. You decide to tech roll. I'm running up. Like, I learned Oki in Tekken 5, where Okizemi is like when you are approaching your opponent after you have completed your combo or
Mhm.
completed whatever, and like depending on how they get up and depending on how you approach is the Okizemi. Now,
Right.
clarify if that has changed or if anybody defines it different.
For King, a lot of those situations have been simplified quite a bit. I remember back in Tekken Tag 2, like with King and Marduk, it was like a set play situation every time I knocked you down. Like if you roll back, I relaunch you. If you stay on the ground, I ground throw you. Like and
Right.
King kind of had that a little bit in Tekken 7, where I get the if you stay down, I will stomp you. If you try to
You
move,
get
I'll be down forward 4.
down forward 4, right?
That still exists.
Right.
Um, but there are other
Is that not Oki?
no, that is, but there are other situations that have been reduced, I think, in like where you like couldn't roll or if you rolled you get hit or if you get up, you get up wrong, you get like there are more of those kind of tricky situations. So I can speak to those more specifically than I can with other characters. There are still some good ones. Don't
Yeah,
get
I
me
was
wrong.
about to say there's still a good amount. I feel like because when I play Jeremy, that still happens quite a
Yeah.
bit. Like if I get up incorrectly, I'm relaunched or a guard break. So I think it still happens quite a bit with or without the
Yeah.
wall there.
Right.
Yeah, I think Oki's still pretty much intact, and however way you get up, something's
I
gonna
think
happen.
even I think even Reina has like a good amount. Like a lot of it's super linear, so tech rolling or like if I don't realign before doing it, it just misses. Or I just do the the homing moves, or I just do like a hell sweep and try to clip you as you roll.
Yeah, especially at the wall in Oki, Yoshi is just insane right now. So
I mean, Yoshi's Oki at the wall is not nearly like it was. It was really dumb.
Yeah.
Wait. I don't think they changed it.
Yeah, they did. They can't. I don't think he can. Yoshi can't like loop the four thing into thing.
Oh yeah, he can.
He did. He did it to me yesterday.
oh yeah, the like back 2-2 for 1+2, and you like the tech roll sword sweep.
If I lay down, you just keep swiping, and then I keep.
Oh
face
yeah, I
down,
can be swiping.
and then
yeah.
and if I tech roll, then whoop, cut your feet, and you
a lot of it is still there.
100%.
Is that still there?
Yeah, that's still there.
Yeah.
That never happened to me.
Oh, it happens to me quite often. You should play Jeremy more.
The last time we played, you didn't
I probably wasn't doing. I was doing some other bullshit, dude.
I tell him every week you need to be doing it, dude. Every time you do it to me.
Oh, we lost him.
See,
he's so
every time you do it to him, it's like, oh my
God. He's so heated. He's gone, dude.
He wins the round.
Okay, there it is. He wins the round. We got him.
Round is won every time you do it. And he's like, yo, I like to be more creative. Yo, sometimes I don't want to do the same thing over and over. Like, bro, just set it up.
Just do it if it wins.
And do it.
I'm alright sticking out right now. Just stop fucking around. Just
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing about that, Jeremy. I feel like forcing people to worry about that is what opens your creativity up. Just going through the gimmick Rolodex is not what you want to do. Like you want to try to want to try to guide their minds into something that they're worrying about, so you can set up something.
Because realistically, if you even doing it just like twice in a match or like a set, they're gonna now start thinking like, oh, is this gonna happen again? Is he gonna do it?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and by the way, if they can't get out of it, you don't even have to think.
Oh, you can just keep doing it. Yeah, just keep doing it.
Right. And then if they worried about, okay, now if I get launched and carried to the wall, he's going to do this again. So then they're sitting there like...
Yeah, now they're playing way more defensive, moving around.
Hit the legs, because they're like, I don't give a damn. Like, you can hit my legs all day. I don't want that wall situation again. And then and you create so many layers because it's the psychological, like I said, you're psychologically just destroying them with that.
This has turned into a third session now. I understand.
Yeah. Helping you.
I appreciate it,
Yes. That shit is broke.
But
if I think about Tekken 8, there is not a single thing worse to deal with at the wall
than
what we're talking. Nothing worse. I'll take the Ling Spike. I'll take the Claudio, like I'll re-wall splat you. I will take all that because this is just again, and then if I tech roll and you swipe my legs, it's a combo.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I'd rather get hit with the stupid Brian Snake Eyes on block and it's still wall splats than have to deal with Yoshi shit.
You almost have to like sit there and eat like two, depending on the angle of the wall, you got to eat like two of those swipes that put you face down because you are able to just side roll a little bit. And then when it swipes you and you're face down again, you're a little bit more away from the wall. And then you get hit again and you roll a little bit more. And then you're a little bit more away from the wall. And then you could tech roll and you could backdash and get out and get unblockable. It's so cheap.
I thought they got rid of that. That's so crazy.
And it's reactable. It's not like the Yoshi player has to guess.
No.
They literally could see that you're laying down, activate the move. See that you're tech rolling, activate the unblockable. There's no guess. It's literally just baby mode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you need to run that, brother.
Because it's gonna go away.
They're 100% taking that shit out.
Yeah.
Use it until you lose it. You gotta use it till you lose it.
Yeah.
All right. So, any other thoughts on season 2, Jeremy?
I don't know when this became a third session, but I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, Ice, what you got?
I don't know, man. I think I am a person who just I internalize stress a little bit differently, I guess. Like I agree that the game is stressful, but I think that's fine. I think that's fighting games at any sort of competitive level. You are signing yourself up for stress.
I mean, realistically, right? Like I know, like I said, we did get a lot of bullshit, and a lot of it either really has on like one or two answers or like Power Crush. But I'll take that over like certain fighting games, like especially like even a few years ago, where someone would go onto a stream. I think it was like Guilty Gear or even like Blaze Blue, cross tag and stuff like that. You would have someone asking like, "Hey, how do I avoid like getting hit with that bullshit in the corner?" And he goes, "Just don't get there in the first place, bro. Just avoid that situation." So it's like I'd rather
Yeah.
be in a situation where I'd like the only answer is power crush than like just don't get caught yourself in that, bro. You got it. Just predict the future.
Yeah, and I talked with Trojan a little bit about that, and it's like, yeah, I mean, that was the direction that Tekken was toward.
Oh yeah.
This where the whole one of the cornerstones of like defense is to just avoid the situation altogether, kind of like Marvel. In the, like, and those are like Marvel is a game I love to watch that I'm glad I don't have to play
Right.
because that is just nonsense on a whole nother level. And Tekken, I think, has historically prided itself on like, no, like you don't have to live like that, basically. And so the fact that it's moving that direction is something that kind of rubbed, Tekken purists wrong, like the wrong way. But for me, like I still like Marvel, so like, whatever. Right. I felt like I still felt like I still had a also it's not like the older games like Tekken 4 or Tekken 5 where like my character doesn't have the same level of things that you have. Like Tekken 4, like my character is basically unplayable. What are you doing? You're wasting your time trying to do anything against this. Tekken 5, King wasn't unplayable, but good lord, like what are we doing? Like that was a very stressful time.
Tekken 5 King was a mess.
It was, it was a very stressful time. Now,
although to be fair, like throw breaks were very difficult in that game.
True.
And he was, he's the master of all throws. So
right.
If used properly, it still wasn't like 5.0 in the garbage. King is in the garbage. But when they made DR and they cleaned it,
DR, yeah.
I think he could be dangerous,
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the whole exercise of playing season 2 is directly relative to how the community reacts season 2. Because I'm fine, like I'm in there, provided that I don't have to work tons of hours and I can actually get time to the game, and or my wife will let me play. Aside from that, like I'm in there. So, I haven't had a chance as much because leading up to the last time we talked, like I was playing a lot leading up into the showdown, and since then I haven't been able to play as much. But when I do play, I mean, it feels good. It felt good before, even when it wasn't as good. Like it wasn't bad, it was just less good, and now it still feels good. It's a fun game. I'm enjoying it. I don't know. I don't really have much more to add.
Okay, then I'll go ahead and give my thoughts before Spiro. Because like I'm gonna be real, bro. Like again, like I think a lot of the negativity comes from a very small community, and it's like we mentioned that a little bit. It's the Twitter minority. Because if you look at Steam charts, you look at anywhere else, you can see player count. It really hasn't dipped that much. Yeah, we've had a couple weeks where people aren't playing as much, but it's looking like people are coming back. Like I think today, the peak for today, and this is after Evo Japan, I'm assuming is why people are coming back again. We hit 7K on just Steam, which is pretty good. And so I think people are starting to now realize that it's not as bad as it may have seemed. And two, like if we're being real, bro, they didn't stray so far that it didn't feel like Tekken. Tekken is extremely unique. Tekken still feels like Tekken. I'm having a lot of fun. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm with pretty much everyone else. I get super salty. I get hella mad. And online, it doesn't matter. Like sometimes I'll just die to some dumb shit and I'm like ready to throw the controller type shit. But it happens, I think it's part of any fighting game. Like, let's be real, dude. You go play Street Fighter, you go play Strive, you go play Uni, you go play Grand Blue, you're gonna get just as pissed, if not more. So I think once people started realizing that, hey, it's not so bad, I think they're starting to come back. Like I said, I'm having a blast. When I'm not playing against Yoshi, it's better. Because I'll be real, like I haven't been playing as much as I should. Because I'll come home from work, I will have to like raid in Final Fantasy 14, or I'm doing other stuff, and I try to work on some stuff outside of work, so I don't play as much as I should. So when I do, it's usually like I'll ask Jeremy like, "Hey, you want to run some sets?" Or so I do play against him a lot, and it's Leo and Yoshi. So it's just what bad end of the stick do you really want? But yeah, I think I'm still pretty overall on season 2. I'm still pretty positive on it. And like the more that I play, the better I feel. To be honest, like I still find ways to play around a lot of the bullshit and the way that people play their little gimmick on their character. So yeah, I've only really felt better as time has gone on, especially because I don't let how others dictate how I feel about the game. So I think if you don't like the game, you're entitled to feel that way. I think, but you forcing your hatred and ideals or how a game should feel and ruining other people's perception of the game is like far worse than the beginning of season 2. Because I think there's been a huge amount of players. I don't say huge. I would say there's probably a good percentage of players in the fighting game scene that have maybe wanted to pick up Tekken, and they saw that Steam has been bombarded by overwhelmingly negative reviews, and they decided to go to like Street Fighter or something else. So I think just overall thoughts. I'm having fun. I'm having a blast. I feel like I'm getting pretty much overall better, and I'm having a good time.
I guess that leaves me, huh?
Yep.
That's you.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
I like Tekken, so I like it. I think it was very, very good. Like I said, following up from the last time we all spoke, I hadn't played the game enough to really fully understand. Like I knew some of the stuff that people were talking about, and then I played it more, and I got to play a variety of characters, and I got to see some of this BS that everybody talks about, like from all these different characters. Was it over exaggerated? Yes. Was some of it tough to deal with? Absolutely. Um, and I feel like this last patch, it was really just a reduction in damage. Pretty much what the patch was. Like all around the board, it was a reduction in damage. You made heat burst linear, and there's a few other small tweaks. But otherwise, it's just they're scaling the damage back, and it looks good. It feels good. I think it feels a little better. I personally like. If y'all remember Tekken Tag 1, competitive Tekken Tag 1. I don't know if anybody remembers that because it's so old. But the time was not 60 seconds back then. Standard time was, I want to say 80 seconds, or I want to say it was 80.
Was it not 99? I feel like I had an image of 99 in my head for Tekken Tag.
It could have been 99. I could do just a really
Yeah.
look on YouTube. I'll pull up a Tekken Tag Evo video. Let's see what we got
Yeah, I
here.
was like, I have a vivid image of Unknown with a 99 above her head. So
Evo 2K5, 60 seconds in 2K5. Let's see what it was in 2003, 60 seconds.
okay, so
So it was 60.
okay,
I feel like there was a time where it was more.
maybe Tekken 3.
No, I mean, I feel like it was definitely, it was tag, but maybe I'm wrong. Like maybe I must have been looking at something else. Mandarin 60 seconds, 2 rounds. It was 2 rounds though.
It was 2 rounds. Yeah.
It was 2 rounds, but then you got.
So in Tekken Tag 2, they used an 80-second timer in competitive play.
Is that what it was?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was Tag 2.
Okay, it was.
At least according to Google, that's what it says.
Okay, so that's probably a faster way to go through it. So anyway, where I was going with this is a lot of those competitive games, they went down to timeout, like often. It was very common. It was maybe half the time, like 50% of the games would time out. And like as a competitor, as somebody that is paying money to get on a plane or get in your car and haul ass across the country, wherever you're going, you're paying all this money to be there and you're playing to play the game. Wouldn't you rather play it 60 seconds a round and go down to the wire and play than just get freaking washed out in 10 to 20 seconds. I think it's more fun because it's in the end, it's just more Tekken.
Yeah.
I mean, is it a test of stamina? Maybe, I don't know. There is a lot more to think about these days than back then. And back then, these timeouts, it was like we were saying earlier, is it's like 15 to 20 seconds of just like hanging out, you know, like literally just spacing and not doing anything. So I think the fact that there's so much more variety in this game and there's so much more going on, I like the fact that the rounds are taking longer. It makes me feel like I'm getting my
Real quick, sorry, Spero. What do
Yeah,
you think about like the spectator side? Like, will a spectator want to see timeout after timeout after timeout?
I mean, if it's timeout after timeout after timeout, like 75% of the games, I think that would get dry.
I think it also
But if we're
depends on like what is like what like how the timeout is like seen, right? Because like you could be the timeout where they're just movement for 30 seconds and them just like hovering around versus like like I would say for the most part in like towards Evo Japan where we were talking about it, at least like a few of those timeouts weren't like they're just sitting there staring at each other, moving, trying to like whiff punish something. It was like a lot of pressure and offense on both sides going back and forth.
I think that's exciting. I think a spectator would like to see that. I think from a marketing standpoint, it is better. I mean, just from a raw viewers like and ad revenue, like you're going to be getting more hours on your game watched. Like it's going to bring people to if you're going to watch the top 8 and the percentage of timeouts in the past was 5%, and now you're jumping to 30%. That is just going to lead to more views and more time invested into the game, which in itself I think is good.
I don't know if people are gonna stick around for that.
Really?
Like, I think it's fine that the game lasts. Like it's not so much the timeouts that I'm worried about; it's the snowballs. Like those rounds where it's like, oh, I got hit and I got ran into this snowball of. It's like I got hit into some crazy mix up and the round's over. The snowballs is what I'm worried about, like reducing a little bit, where it's like a super like close match, me and that happened, and they had their one gimmick that they held in the Rolodex, and then I run into a round snowball, like, oh, that was a Yoshi round, it's over. Like that kind of stuff is a little bit like, okay, in a competitive sense, I don't want to feel like my last round is going to come down to a coin flip, like you're going to have to outplay me kind of thing. And if more timeouts come as an effect of that, I'm that. But 30% timeouts is a lot when you think about it. That is a lot of non-resolution. And I think there has to be a balance there.
Do you think 30% timeouts is a lot?
I'm just saying, if Evo Grand Finals ends in a timeout,
I'm not saying every single round. I say 30%. Let's say 1 out of 3 rounds is a timeout.
Yeah, that's one round a game in a timeout.
Yeah.
I'd say maybe one timeout a match, like as in like 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 5.
Really?
Maybe 1 or 2, but like I think 15 to 15ish will probably be like the highest I would want timeout percentage.
I just feel like it's fine. I think it's.
I really, like I said, I don't think inherently like if like let's say this year at Tekken 8 Grand Finals reset final good old double Luigi whatever the fuck, and it ends in a timeout, but it was an exciting round. That's fine. I don't have an issue with that.
Yeah.
And I think with the way that people are playing Tekken 8 right now, like let's say it doesn't change all that much other than like a couple more nerfs here and there, I think it'd be perfectly fine.
There's a patch coming in June, so
yeah. So we don't know how much that'll change.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because again, like I was looking it up to see if I could find proof. I have a vivid image of a Tekken 7 Grand Finals. I think it was me versus someone else, and they had like a good amount of rounds out, and I like tuned out because it's a different type of round, timeout.
Yeah. Speaking of me and him, winning
Evo Japan, yeah.
And him winning Evo Japan in Tekken 8 game, fools feel like it's impossible to play defense, like play solid and whatever. Like I think that he like I just love the way he plays. Like I love the way he approaches the game, and you just can't get away with BS with him. Like even like the I didn't watch a lot of Evo Japan, but I watched some of it, and even the last exchange where he tries to do back four into the flippy thing. And he's like, no, I'm stepping that. Like I got that on. Don't do that.
Right.
So if you're he proved that you can be sharp defensively and be offensively active, like in an oppressive game, and that's really cool.
Yeah, and I think like you watch most of the matches, especially his. It was very much a defensive, in your face poking, not letting you get away with BS the entire tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my thoughts on timeouts. I think they're fine. I think they're fine. I think if it reaches above like 40, or if it's half the games or timeouts, I think that's
that's an issue.
Then we're coming into a problem if it's all the time.
You're trying to turn us into Street Fighter Cross Tekken, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Let's play some Tekken, man. Let's play.
That worked out. That game was timeout central. Fools got tired of it.
Dude, I'm not trying to just like go there and get wrecked real quick or go wreck somebody real quick and then I want to play.
I mean, I agree with you on that. Like on the opposite side where it's like, let me hit you with like round start launcher into wall and guess for your life and rounds over.
There's nothing worse. There's literally nothing worse. At least like think about how it feels with what you just said. Round start launch into the wall, into one guess, into the wall combo, into like a chip, into a generic low or a down forward one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Think about how bad that feels, and think about how it feels when you lose a timeout and it's super close and when all kinds of cool things happen. And it's like, does it hurt? It hurts, but it's at least
but it's more like I, instead of being like, well, that's fucking mad, or I get frustrated, it's more like, damn, that was close. Like I almost had him.
Damn, it was close. I had it. Maybe I got outplayed.
I was like, oh, you immediately go into that's fucking bullshit. Like, why am I just getting run over? To I could have just done this and it would have ended it. Like
you start thinking more when it's a timeout.
It's a productive thought.
Yep. And when you get run through like round start launch to the wall, resplat, and it's over, this fucking game sucks is what you want to say, because it's like as Wade Gamble, let me play.
Because I'll be honest, even in ranked, right? You're getting closer to timeouts now than you ever did in season 1.
Like I get what you're saying, but remember, you're talking about a specific kind of timeout.
Yeah,
you're not talking like there are timeouts like chasing after Zafina, chasing after Wasulu's Eddie in Tekken 7. Like there are certain kinds of timeouts where
that's different.
I'm like, this is garbage. This is equally as bad. Right. So if we're able to have timeouts where there's an exchange, right? There's an exchange to it. That's very different than. But the thing is, the more you lean towards timeouts, if we're talking about timeouts in a very general sense, the more you bring in
like that kind of stuff. Right.
Wait, there has to be a balance. You broke up. You said the more you bring in,
like the more you welcome, quote unquote, or like allow timeouts to happen, it's essentially opening the doors to allowing those types of play styles to come in. Because like right now, you know how we're timing out now, for the most part, from what I've seen competitively, and like even when me and Jeremy are playing, we're getting timeouts, but we're sitting there fighting each other back and forth, and it's very engaging.
Right.
But if this becomes the norm, then he's saying, to play devil's advocate, we're then allowing the stage for those people to play like that.
Or it's just a dragged out game.
Yeah.
That's what I'm afraid of.
I just don't think that's going to happen in this game, because they don't have that stuff. Like what you just described, I'm with you.
I just think I think heat alone. Yeah, I think heat alone allows that to not happen if people are using it properly.
Right. I think they do not have where you're running, and they got rid of wall. I mean, they got rid of no wall.
Yeah, the infinite stages.
There is no infinite. Like even on Yakushima or Coliseum, if you try to do that runaway game, you're gonna hit a wall.
I think like you have to be such a crazy, insane, on the spot, reading your opponent's every fucking engagement to be able to play like that, especially in Tekken 8. So like I get where you're coming from, but I think with the current state of the game and how like the shit that characters have, it's like near impossible for you to drag out a 60 round just you running away.
Yeah, those days are gone.
Yeah,
I'm gonna use the bathroom, but you guys can keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that's acceptably true in the current state of the game.
Yeah, that's about over.
Which is fair. I mean, I think if we're talking about 30, 40, 50% the timeouts per round, I think that is a very different game.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 50% is getting now. It's getting a little long. Like, okay, yeah, I hear that. But yeah, I think 30% is fair. As a maximum.
Ice, are you going to CEO or no?
I am.
You are? Oh, you both of you going to CEO. So I guess my question is, what were you expecting in terms of like competitiveness? Like how many people? Like not people. Do you think the numbers will grow from CEO to Evo?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah.
I think so.
How many people were at Evo Japan? Like 900 something?
Just under 1,000.
Just under 1,000?
Yeah, it was almost 1,000.
How many people are at CEO?
You got 11 and change at Combo Breaker.
Oh,
I was about to say,
That's
Combo
right.
Breaker is almost 1,200.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I think especially after Knee
Wait,
winning the way that
Combo Breaker
is the next week.
this week. Next weekend.
Next weekend.
That was-
Okay.
You said
Yeah, I'm in
CEO?
Combo Breaker. I'm in the Combo Breaker. Yeah.
I'm going to both. I'm going to Combo Breaker also. So yeah, it is.
I think it's going to be
I-
steadily climbing in general.
Yeah, I can't hear. Let me attendees. 5,800 people attending Combo Breaker registered. Like not for Tekken, just everything.
Just in
For
general,
Tekken,
yeah.
You got 1,107.
And that's crazy.
It's crazy.
Can you look at CEO numbers too, or just Combo Breaker?
I'm assuming you can see like CEO now, just whatever's registered, and that's not even including like whatever people are gonna probably be signing up throughout the week, because we probably have some late people.
Yeah, they're doing late. Yeah, they normally. I feel like they normally close it by now. PEO doesn't even have an attendees tab here.
Oh, okay, so they haven't done that yet.
And then if I click Tekken, it will not give me any information.
Okay, so we don't know that one yet, but almost 1,200 people is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
1,107 people as of
Oh,
now.
1,107. Okay.
1107. So that's more than Evo Japan right now in Combo.
Mhm.
People want that. People want that EWC spot.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
play
I wonder how
EWC
many-
and TWT.
People,
Like I wonder if the numbers will go slightly down this year, Evo. I would assume it would, because of how people react to this season.
Oh, I'm gonna be real, dude. Even with all those complaints,
they're showing up.
They're showing up. I think the people that I think for the most part, like we have, like the people that are like me that just like fighting games in general and play everything, is such a minute percentage that like the people that want to play Tekken and play at that level are just gonna put up with it and go play Tekken because they're addicted to only Tekken. And so I think the Evo numbers are gonna continue to rise.
And people are addicted to just playing video games at Evo.
Yeah.
Right.
It is just an iconic thing to do. It is like historical. If you have gone, like there are people that like on their bucket list is go to Evo and play a video game. That is just the thing.
Some people go to Evo as their first tournament.
Yeah, because last year was like 4,000.
46.51. I just looked it up.
46.51.
We're taking 46.
Yeah, it was almost 5K. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So it's possible we can get 5,000, right?
I think you're gonna get pretty close. I think we're gonna be very surprised that we're gonna be really close to 5,000.
You think so?
I think so. I think it's gonna be, especially like I said, with the news that's come out with how they're handling the game now, who's handling it, and this patch alone. If the June patch turns out that it's like pretty good and overall the public sees it as a positive, that number will get real close to 5,000 real fast.
Yeah.
That's a lot of wins to make it the top 8.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Jeez.
Yeah, man.
Man.
So yeah, so that's I kind of gave you all my thoughts on season 2. I don't know if there's anything else that y'all wanted to ask me about it.
Yeah,
There wasn't really
I'm a
any
little bit.
bullet points. Like I know sometimes we have bullet points and like
Yeah.
specific topics on what we're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm a little bit behind on my season 2 study. I've been going through characters and stuff, but again, I haven't been playing as much as I was going into Showdown. But I will say one thing that I think people have been complaining about, which I don't know if it's valid or not, but like how they're changing the frames on moves that have been like a certain frame forever, and then like costing people tournaments and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's don't get me wrong. I think it's kind of it's not like I don't want to use the word cringe. It's I was going to say cuz like it's definitely like a legacy player issue, right? Cuz realistically for me, I don't fucking know what that shit is. I was like, can I punish that? It looks punishable. And then like I'm reacting on the spot and then I learn on the spot like now in Tekken 8. Whereas like you guys obviously have been playing and you got that shit memorized like I punished this with this for years. So I can see that as an issue, but I think since they're more preoccupied with like newer players, they're probably going to continue to do that kind of stuff, which kind of sucks for you guys. But it's just you then get hit with adapt.
You're talking about when it says like punish on the screen or counter hit or stuff like that.
No, like for example,
like I think they changed Lee. Like as an example, earlier in season 1, I remember because Brawl Pro made a huge thing about. He has like a video of like funny moments, and he's like screaming -14 because he's like trying to drill it in his head that the Lee, like a specific Lee move, is -14 and not 15 anymore, and so he can't use like a certain move to launch it. So it's like that.
yeah, or like
I mean, yeah, that's...
1-2-4-4. The low is like -12 now.
Yeah,
you know, Raven's back turn 3+4s and stuff like that. That you have to know. You know,
that's been since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Every Tekken, there's an update or there's a new Tekken. Maybe they change the frames on the moves. I mean, I think Tekken 8 a little bit more than before, like a lot more than before. But I think that's part of the game. Like, you know, no matter how you look at it, it's how many times they should change Shaheen's what is it, like 1-2-2? -10, -12, -10, -12. They just keep doing it, you know?
Yeah.
So, and that was in Tekken 7, you know, but like, yeah, I think I like that they have punish on the screen. I think that's kind of cool.
Oh, I really like seeing that stuff now.
Was anyone surprised that this last patch was just a bunch of nerfs and?
No,
love it.
No,
I wasn't surprised at all. They
me and Jeremy, because we talked about it the night or the morning that it dropped, right? And I told him, I was like, I'm not surprised that it's like nerfs, but I was very surprised at what like the nerfs entailed. Like they took away what was it, Kazuya's up forward 3-1 or whatever that move was. That was like it was like a super strong homing move. They like took away the homing properties, which I thought, yeah. And so I didn't think they were gonna go that far. I knew it would be nerfs pretty much across the board, or at least rebalances and like kind of adjust frames and whatnot. But I didn't know they would start going back on like homing moves, and I'm hoping aerial tailspins too.
I know they removed somebody's strong aerial tailspin. I don't remember who it was.
Was it Oscar? Yeah, Oscar.
Yeah. They cut one of hers out. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just happy. King basically untouched, baby.
Yeah, King was untouched.
Working as designed.
Yep. Same way. Eddie got buffed because all they did was nerf the chip damage on his heat smash.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna nerf all those moves that I have to deal with when I'm using Eddie, and you're not gonna nerf any of my moves except
That's
blocking,
essentially a buff. Yeah.
It's essentially a buff, yeah.
I just got buffed.
Yeah.
I think
why?
I think Reina went untouched
Eddie's
too.
more cool now.
What?
Eddie's more cool now.
No, because he's bad, and they realizing it, and they're like, let's just leave him alone. But then let's just make back 3-3 like -20 next season.
I was gonna say I think Reina was untouched also this patch. Other than like her heat smash doing less damage or something.
Yeah.
Was she? Yeah, I think so.
So I'm good.
Well,
I got to keep my new dumb low that puts me in stance.
Yeah.
I don't have nothing else really. As you want to respond to some YouTube comments.
Oh yeah, I wanted to do that as a group to kind of clear up because, like I said at the beginning of this podcast, I think either people came at us with bad faith or we didn't explain it properly. So I figured we could bring it up.
Yeah, I'd love to do that.
Here we
Let's
go.
do that.
It's just the first guy says, "Are you guys brawlers? Are
That
we
one
all
made
green
me
ranks in
laugh,
here,
dude.
bro?"
That
laughed
shit
so
made
hard.
me laugh because it could be taken in three ways, right? One, he's making fun of us not calling us true fighting game players by saying, "Are you brawlers?" Like like Smash, and that shit made me laugh. Two, he's calling us low green ranks, or three, he's trying to throw hands, and either one makes me laugh.
Okay, let me just make something very clear before we continue with these comments. Right? I went out to dinner last night,
Right.
and I had Tekken Spirit on, and the dude's like, "Oh, awesome game, bro! Awesome game." And my girl's like, "What do you know about Tekken?" He's like, "Everything," and he walks away. Right. Then we come back. I'm like, "Yo, who do you use?" He's like, "Eddie." I go,
Oh,
"Yo, that's awesome. Me too." He goes, "You know, a move is so good." I go, "What's that?" Down triangle when he goes down into relax.
down triangle.
No. Oh
So
no.
with that being said, everybody, if they have the game bought, knows everything about
Right, they're
everything.
all
So
experts,
everybody's an expert. So
Everyone's
with that
God.
being said, continue.
Yeah, I knew exactly where you were going with that before you
Yeah.
even started.
And
Yeah.
so this one, I'm just gonna. I don't have, obviously we don't really have any issues with any of you guys. Most of these comments are just funny. One of this comments, we're not gonna say usernames or whatever. We'll just say what the comment is. Is 30. He goes 3,490 on Steam charts. It is Monday evening. Anyone can just look at a chart. It doesn't mean shit just because the players are low on a Monday evening. People work Monday through Friday. They don't play every day of the week.
There's also two other consoles out there.
Using just Steam charts in that fashion is disingenuous, and so it is what it is.
Okay.
We're gonna do the mean comments first, and then we'll cover the positive ones. This guy here, I get where he's coming from. He says, if someone added 1,500 changes to how a chessboard piece can move, well, I think within the first hour of playing chess, the player would understand that they're not playing the same game. It's crazy that a few people on this video call think we need more time to really see something so obvious. And I think you miss the point of us telling you to play more. If you don't like it, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But we're saying if you're all of a sudden calling all of those changes BS and there's no counterplay, that's where it says go play more and go learn and how to properly deal with it.
Also, your analogy is not at all equivalent.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I was just gonna gloss over that. You were not gonna drop that. I see.
Not at all close. Yeah.
Don't forget the reply, Chilo.
Oh yeah, there were replies underneath that. Someone agreed with him. He goes, they just don't want the changes because they're finally winning at the game they were probably asked before. But with now everything being a 50-50 coin flip, they don't want to change that.
Oh, man.
I mean,
also not gonna. That got that. So that chess comment got 8 likes, and then the reply got 5 likes.
That's super funny.
Again, down the triangle is relax, right?
Right.
So all these people know everything. I mean, if you, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and trash talk people I don't even know. And some of these things could just be for pure fun,
right?
And for pure just trolling, or they could be serious or whatever. But I mean, we kind of. The YouTube audience is different than the Twitter audience, is different than the TikTok audience.
Yeah.
Every
different
social media
and
platform has a lot different. You don't find most highly hour invested Tekken players on YouTube trolling the comments, and the people that are real serious gamers on YouTube, they're going on to watch a match to study somebody's content, and they're not making no comments.
No.
I don't make many comments on. I've watched tons of YouTube footage because I want to study an opponent.
I'll watch sitting there watching hours of Reina gameplay, and I've never made a comment about anything.
I'm making a comment. I'm trying to figure out what I got to do and then put it into the game.
I got to see what they're doing. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, again, these people saying these things is like 1,500. You change in one piece move. Buddy, they didn't change one move 1,500 Waste.
ways, right?
Right. They changed the whole game 1,500 moves. But okay.
Then we got this comment, which got 2 likes. He goes, "You complain about Reyna and her new stance lows, but you pick up Lily. I didn't pick up Lily because of her new stance lows. I've been playing Lily since Tekken 7. I'm complaining about Reyna's lows because it's taking away what I consider is her identity, which is crazy rush down, heavy mix up with bad lows. And realistically, you're just giving her more bullshit and more war crimes. That's my issue with it, quote unquote. But hey, you know what? It's fine."
Okay.
This next one. The Lars stuff mentioned aside from his new wall ender is stuff he's had since season 1, day 1. That's the stuff that we all mentioned when we were talking about Lars was all the new bullshit that he got. I don't.
Hold on. I got all the stuff open here. So won't take too long. Here are the patch notes for season 2. Lars. Okay. Lars. Guy's got like a full. Dude,
He's got a whole page of new shit that he got that we
Literally
talked
a
about.
full page.
Screenshot of all the changes on
It's
the
all right
screen.
though. That stuff, it's not new stuff. It's just readjusted.
Like,
So he already had
okay.
it.
Yeah, hold on.
Right.
Let me share the screen. Hold on. This is ridiculous. This is insane.
All right, there we go. You see this? It's all
Look at that
Lars.
novel. That was a
Oh
novel,
wait,
bro.
what does that say? New move, new move, new move, new move, new move, new move. Command added.
6 new moves.
Holy, oh my god.
Not possible transit.
Yeah.
Limited
And
entry.
and by the way, it's not just the news; it's the connections to the new things too
Yeah.
that weren't there before.
But no, it's okay. All that stuff we mentioned, he's had it since day 1. You're right.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yep.
My bad.
Right. All the frame data was the same. Right. This is what I mean.
It didn't.
Down
Yeah.
triangle is
Not the whole page saying balance.
How did we not see? How
buff.
did we not see it before? How did we not see this before?
Yeah, you're right.
This guy needs to talk to the $1,500 chess piece, 1,500 move chess piece guy.
They need to
like form their thoughts together.
right.
And then someone replied to that comment saying his Wild Rising 2 into 3+4 is uninterruptible. Like no context, nothing. That's just what he said under that comment. I don't know where it came from.
What was it?
His so Lars's Wild Rising 2 into 3+4 is uninterruptible. That's what he said, just right underneath that.
Okay. And that's all he said.
That's all he said. No context, nothing. It's just, I guess Lars was mentioned. He decided to throw that in there and let us know. I don't know what move that is off the top of my head. It could be uninterruptible. I don't know.
I'm thinking it's Wall Rising 2-3 because Lars has Wall Rising 2-1 and Wall Rising 2-3, and if you probably do Wall Rising 2-3+4, you're going to get Wall Rising 2-3.
Yeah.
And it's a high string, so you could block it and duck it. If my calculations are correct, the game is starting up right now. So
We're about to.
we're going to validate this video and make sure we show all of our love to these lovely people that are watching us, and we are interacting with the crowd.
Of course.
Right, wrong, or indifferent. And you know what we'll do? We'll just
do it.
There was one tweet,
share the screen
right?
again. Let everybody see it.
There was one tweet that I saw that said, "If you like this patch of Tekken, that means you're not a Tekken fan." It took me so hard not to respond
Right.
to such a backwards tweet, dude.
If you like this patch of Tekken,
You're not a real Tekken fan.
You're not a real Tekken fan.
Tekken fan. Okay.
All right. So while you're loading in, this guy says, my problem in character identity, homogenization, and what was mentioned a few times, the direction it's going. He goes, I don't want to keep learning MA. I don't know what that means by MA, like in this context. Okay. I don't want to keep learning MA in this direction. I won't bitch about it. It's uninstalled and looking for a new game. And then underneath it, he says, valid choice. I respect it. And you know what? If you don't like it and you're not having fun, good for you, bro. You're valid. I'm not going to have any problems with that.
That's what the end of the game. If you don't like a game, just
stop playing
it. Just stop.
Right.
Don't play it and then don't go bitch online about it for the next 3 weeks.
Okay. So.
All right, let's see it.
Wall Rising 2, 3+4 is the same as Wall Rising 2-3.
Yeah, so it's Wall Rising 2-3.
That's the first problem with this forward comment, right?
Right.
And now to show him, if you would like to reach out to me for coaching, I will help you understand that, look, you could duck it and
then just punish it.
So it is interruptible, good friend. So come, call me. My name is SperoGin. I will help you. Okay, enough.
It is not armored. It's not a power crush. Just duck it.
just duck the second hit.
All
Be
right.
careful. There's a mid option.
There is a mid. Okay,
Yeah.
so then we have when everyone who's played the game for 20 years has felt it's a problem and the game was literally designed for casuals, it's annoying as fuck hearing said casuals literally hear what we are saying and ignore it entirely. There are way too many people who don't know what they're talking about this. I'll take the word of the actual player base, not the one Tekken was aiming to win over this whole time, with a strategy that will lose them in the end anyways once they progress past the casual mindset. Granted, and then I just, just throwing this out there. He's saying this on an episode where SperoGin is on, and we have longtime Tekken players in Lotus, Ice Cold, and Jeremy. I've dabbled. Like you could say that about me. I was more casual, quote unquote. But everyone else is in the top 5% or less of the game. Are they not the actual player base? Are they not real Tekken players just because they don't agree with you?
Yeah, man.
I mean,
It's rough out there, dude. Let me tell you.
YouTube comments. So
I mean, there's all I can really say to that is like there's levels to this, bro. It's like
Right.
everything else. There's levels to this. Like the people you see on stream all the time, the household names, the SperoGins, the Shadows, the Joey Furies, the Joe Crushes, like they're extremely good players. They're players that you might not know, that you might not see as much, that will still turn your shit inside out.
Right.
It is very hard to be good at competitive games nowadays. And the people who you see, and even the people who you don't like they'll mix your shit. So, the best way to know this is to just feel it. Like just come go to an offline event and sit down next to some random person you wherever. Ask him where he's from. Ask him where he's from. He could be from Texas, Indiana, or Kansas or something. And you're like, oh my God, this dude is actually really good. But there's levels, dude. There's levels to this.
Yeah,
So
you never know who you're sitting next to.
No, that's for sure.
So, I mean, obviously everybody knows what Spero has done in the game. People like me less so, but I mean, I'm pretty real. Don't get it twisted.
Right.
So,
we were talking in at PAX, right? And we were saying, who is left from our generation or older that still travels and competes? And now we're talking Tekken 5 or before.
Mm.
Not many.
It's not a whole lot.
I thought of you and me. We'll just talk America because Nee is still doing it. Kudan's is still doing it. You know what I mean? These guys are still doing it. Not that there's a whole lot more I could mention out of those guys. You know what I mean?
I didn't realize Jimmy J was at Evo Japan until I saw him there.
Yeah.
He is Evo only. He doesn't compete. So Jimmy J would count because he still goes, but he only goes to Evos. That's it. I heard that I was talking to somebody from the West Coast, and they said that he goes to the locals, but he goes and waits till the tournament's over, and then he sits down and plays some casuals with everybody.
Oh, that's sick.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, he doesn't compete anymore at locals. So, but Ice, could you answer that?
And
Who
else?
From Tekken 5 or before is still traveling and competing?
Yeah, I mean,
Jackie Tran.
Yeah, Tran for sure.
Tran. Thought about Tran. Go let the dog out. So excuse me 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm right here.
Yeah, Tran. Does L Train still travel?
Not much. I don't remember L Train in T5.
Okay.
L Train I think came out in T6. I'm not mistaken.
T5.
Just like Shadow and Cuddle, they're all T6 or Tag 2. They're all like T6 Tag 2. They weren't T5. Joey, but Joey's even scaling back big time.
Yeah, he's not traveling as much.
But you could count Joey because he is going to go to Evo. He said that's going to be the only one. So you count Joey, Ice, Tran, you, me.
Yeah, it's
not much out there.
I mean, I want to say Will so bad. I mean, he's gonna go to Evo. He's not really in there.
So the realist will count, but it's like a Jimmy J type thing.
Yep.
It's just Evo. It's like once a year.
Mm-hmm.
So I will still count that because it's like that's still one.
He's still competing and he's still going.
Wade Gamble. Does Wade Gamble count?
Wade Gamble has been around. Yeah, he's still doing it. Yep.
I guess
like
Cody's basically out.
Cody's done.
Uh,
Trungy goes, but Trungy doesn't compete. Trungy didn't even enter in Tekken last year. He goes and he coaches, so he's just maybe Gio.
Yeah, maybe Gio. Isaac from Colorado. He still plays locally. I don't know if he really travels. Poke Chop still kind of in there.
Poke Chop, yeah.
I see him
Is Anakin
occasionally.
Tekken 5, or is he later?
Anakin's Tekken 5.
Oh, yeah, Anakin's before me.
Yeah, and Anakin still plays.
Wait, Ice, didn't you play Tekken 4 tournaments?
I was playing Soul Calibur 2 at that time.
Oh, that's what you were competing in. So wait, what? Tekken 5 was your first competitive Tekken?
Tekken 5 was the first Tekken, yeah.
You're from okay. I guess I'm a micro older than you then in that regard, because I did enter my first Tekken 4 regional, but whatever. That was the only Tekken 4 tournament I entered, Tekken 4 regional. Okay.
Yeah, man, not very many.
So we could just kind of get maybe a dozen. We can name a dozen. So that's
still impressive.
There's about 12. There's about 12 left. Maybe is there even 20 left in the whole world?
Yeah.
It's okay though. You're not real Tekken players, so it's fine.
No.
Yeah. Not real Tekken players. Not real Tekken fans either.
Yeah.
I got Tekken shirt on. Well, but I'm not real. What do I don't like.
You're only playing on the PS1 pad that you've been playing for decades.
Right.
Literally. I got like a Tekken 3 Zippo, and I got like all kinds of like Tekken keychains and shit. Like, I'm over here walking around with my Tekken 7 lanyard.
Right.
Yeah, right. No, but I'm not a real Tekken fan. I don't think anybody's more of a weeb than I am when it comes to Tekken.
Right.
Don't get this man start talking about the Tekken movie.
Oh, Tekken Revolution.
Oh no.
Ice, you remember my apartment in Texas? Like, how much Tekken stuff did I have? Like,
you are definitely the biggest Tekken weeb I have ever met in my life, for sure. This man loves Tekken.
Okay,
sure.
I gotta read this to you. This should be on the podcast, right?
All right.
This is from Nashi. A deeper meaning in context of Tekken the motion picture. Ready? The cycle of violence. The monologue starts by talking about bloodshed in the name of God, justice, and righteousness. In the world of Tekken, especially in the anime, this reflects the ongoing, seemingly endless cycle of revenge, betrayal, and the power struggle within the Mishima family and the larger world. The invented demands of their fickle deity is a metaphor for how people often use higher causes to justify their own violent instincts. That's number one. Number two, genetic, memory, and survival instincts. A memory has become deeply engraved into the genes of all living things. This is a poetic way of saying that the violence and aggression are not just cultural or personal, but biological. The Mishima bloodline is infamous for its cruelty and internal strife. Heihachi, Kazuya, and later Jin all struggle with the darkness inside themselves, sometimes attributed to the bloodline curses or the devil gene. But the anime reframes this not as mere genetics, but as something inherent to all living things. Truth behind conflict. The act of fighting is itself a true act. Without this truth, the fighter will perish. This is almost existential. It says that fighting, struggling, striving is an honest expression of life itself. The justifications don't matter as much as the reality of the struggle. For Tekken characters, especially Kazuya, Jin, and Heihachi, survival and facing one's own nature are essential themes. Self-knowledge as power. To learn the way, ask your own flesh and blood. To master the way, ask your own pen or fist. This part is classic martial arts philosophy. True strength comes from understanding oneself. The Mishimas are powerful not because of their techniques alone, but because they confront and embrace their own demons, even if it destroys them. Tekken, the Iron Fist, is not just a tournament. It is the personal journey of confronting who you really are, physically and spiritually. Tekken is the key to life. The closing line, Tekken is the key to life, is both literal and metaphorical. Literal, winning the tournament or mastering fighting literally determines who survives and shapes the world's fate in the anime. Metaphorical, mastery of struggle, your Iron Fist, is what it means to truly live. Life is struggle. To deny this is to live a lie or perish.
Keep in mind, he just had that on deck, like ready to go. And it's okay though. He's not a real fan. It's fine.
I freaking love that part at the end.
Yeah, this shit's so funny.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. And so to round out the comments before we get towards the end of this podcast,
Yes.
out of all of that, we did get 2 positive comments. So, it all worked out. To keep it fair, won't say their usernames either. Someone said, "Great podcast. Anyone can tell y'all are real players who care. Got a sub for me." So he's on our side. Nice. And then
Hey.
one other comment, "Great podcast, y'all." And that was it.
All right. Cheers.
Yeah.
How much you want to bet that the good majority of those people that put those mean comments didn't even finish the episode?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's
No,
2 hours. 2 hours plus.
Yeah, it's a hefty episode.
Yeah. Yeah. Y'all gotta start doing the shorts with the nuggets in there.
Oh, we've been meaning to, but we gotta get with Kenzo on that one.
That's key. Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, I enjoy talking about this with you guys. I will, like I say, every time I come on here, I will talk about fighting games from now till.
Oh, I can sit here and just talk about fighting games for all fucking day.
But they would be for like 4 hours, bro.
I know. If we don't cut
my
ourselves off, we don't stop.
Right. I like having friends who are fans of fighting games as well. So, talk about it and live it. But yeah, man, shout out to the legend, old school Tom Brady and all his. He used to always say, "You got to live it and breathe."
Oh yeah.
Yep.
All right. So, any final thoughts before we head out of here?
Support your locals. That's still a thing.
Yeah.
Support your locals. Play the game. Enjoy it.
Play the game.
It will not be here ever. Everything comes and goes. Enjoy it while you have it.
For sure, man. For sure.
So, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.
Later, guys.
There you go.
Peace.